I asked if there was someone from the sixth dimension we could communicate with.
Yes.
It answered. Seventh?
Yes.
Eighth?
Yes.
Ninth?
No.
That pause unsettled me more than the answer, like something had considered it. We settled on 8.
Hello. This will be a story about a Ouija board experience. Please do not try to play with these forces. You don't know what you could encounter. You can even open a portal that you don't know fully how to close. And if you try to play with it, make sure you know all the rules and don't ever break them, or really bad things could happen. Or probably you're a skeptic and this might be a story for some of you, but if you don't have enough respect for it, it might become your next reality. So let's begin with our program, which crawls in the nights. This happened in late summer of 2011. I live in a European country, so none of this was done in English. There were 2 of us, just me and a close friend. We didn't record anything. We didn't tell anyone. At that time, it just felt harmless, almost even boring. I drew the board myself on a large piece of paper. Letters, numbers, yes, no, a star circle. We lit the candles and sat on the floor of my bedroom, using a rectangular subwoofer as a small table. I entered a meditative state, not relaxed, but narrowed, focused. We agreed I would act as the conduit. We used a small shot glass turned upside down. Only the very tips of our fingers touched it. His at 12 o'clock, mine at 6. We tested it beforehand. If either of us tried to move the glass intentionally, it would only rotate in place, clumsy and useless. That mattered to us. It felt like a safeguard. I don't remember the first question. I don't remember my reaction when the glass first moved. I only remember realizing a few seconds too late that it had moved, and that neither of us had done it. We followed the same pattern every time. Lift the glass, whisper the question into it, and place it back on the start circle. Is there someone who wants to communicate with us? The glass slid to yes. Smooth, confident. We asked for a name. Lars, it answered. He said he died in 1947. He had no connection to the building. Nothing about him felt threatening or dramatic. In fact, the whole exchange felt strangely flat. I remember feeling overwhelmed, like we'd proved nothing at all. I thanked him and said goodbye. The glass stopped moving. That should have been the end. Instead, I asked another question, almost absent-mindedly. I asked if there was someone from the sixth dimension we could communicate with.
Yes.
It answered. 7th?
Yes.
8th?
Yes.
9th?
No.
That pause unsettled me more than the answer, like something had considered it. We settled on 8. Is there someone from the 8th dimension that we can communicate with?
Yes.
What is your name? The glass moved immediately.
Uncool.
It answered. The movement was different now, sharper, faster. It no longer felt like the glass was being guided. It felt pulled, like something had taken hold of it from below. How old are you? I asked. The glass shot to the numbers. 6 digits started with 4. over 400,000 years old. We laughed nervously, asked questions we thought were clever, personal ones, scientific ones. Some answers were vague, some were disturbingly specific. What stayed with me wasn't what it said, but how it answered. There was no hesitation, no wandering. Sometimes it spelled words so fast we couldn't keep up, as if our ability to read was a limiting factor, not its ability to communicate. At some point, I realized I was holding my breath between questions. I wanted something more, something undeniable. Can you show us a visual sign?
Yes.
It answered. I didn't want anything to happen inside my room. That suddenly felt important. Can you show us outside? If we go out into the balcony?
Yes.
Should we go now?
No.
That answer made my stomach tighten. We weren't in control of the timing. We never had been. We asked unrelated questions for a few more minutes. I couldn't tell you what they were. My focus kept drifting back to the balcony door. Finally, I asked again. Is it time for us to go outside now?
Yes.
It went straight to yes. It was around 4 in the morning, mid-August. The sky was pale with early dawn, bright enough to see clearly even though the street lights were off. From our second floor balcony, we looked down at the residential parking lot across the road. At first, we thought there was a rock near a small shed. Then, it moved. It was just a black cat. It sat perfectly still, staring at something behind the shed we couldn't see. Its posture was wrong, too rigid, too focused. It slowly walked away, and our eyes followed it without thinking, like it was leading our gaze. The moment it lay down beneath a parking car, that light appeared, about 6 foot above the ground, roughly the size of a basketball. It didn't fade in, it didn't glow brighter, it simply existed. The light was white, solid, clean, and deeply unsettling. It didn't reflect off anything. It didn't cast shadows. It looked like a hole punched into the air itself, as if something had momentarily forgotten to hide. It moved, a smooth, deliberate arc, not floating, but swinging. Then it vanished. As suddenly as it appeared, it just vanished in front of us. I turned to my friend. He was staring at me, mouth open, eyes wide, completely frozen. We looked back. The light appeared again, almost instantly, as if it had noticed our doubt. This time, it made a longer swing, coming from the opposite direction before disappearing once more. We stood there in silence for 10 minutes. No excitement, no shouting, just waiting, half expecting it to return, half afraid it would. It didn't. It never appeared back. We went back inside. I placed my fingers on the glass again. My hands were shaking now, though I hadn't noticed until then. Was the orb of light the sign?
Yes.
It answered. That was it. It was never terrifying in the way horror stories usually are. There was no sense of immediate danger, no threat, just the uncomfortable realization that something had answered us, had waited for us, had shown us exactly what we asked for, and nothing more. The last time I did anything like this was in 2014. I've never seen that light again, but sometimes when I wake up just before dawn, I still get the feeling that timing matters more than I understand. And whatever answered us back then is very, very patient. Well, guys, this was the story for today. It's a pretty good one. I really love Ouija board experiences. You never know what you're gonna encounter on these stories. It just happens a lot of things at once, and it always has you on the edge of your seat. So that was pretty much it for today. So remember, don't ignore the sounds tonight. You've already awakened it. Good night, and don't let the bed bugs bite.